Hello and welcome to this afternoon or evening time brandy taste challenge. I was going to do whiskey, one more blended whiskey. I was going to do Dimple Pinch versus Trader Joe's, but when I poured the Dimple Pinch, it was only like it wasn't even enough to get a taste. So I said, well, that's going bye-bye. Well, now we're on to brandy, and we'll do that for a little while. I have two brandies, and they both might be from 1889. I'll explain that. Well, here's Corbell California brandy. I paid $14.99 for this liter. Yes, $14.99 for this liter. But I believe the price has gone up, unfortunately. Isle of Fire says, also known as Stanley Wayne Roll. Uh-oh, no Dimple Pinch versus Trader Joe's. Well, I couldn't because it's gone. But it wasn't going to be much of a challenge anyway. The little bit I poured and I tasted, I laughed. I said, Trader Joe's wouldn't have stood a chance, But I did get 14 right and 4 wrong, so not too bad. Here's Corbell, California Champagne Cellars since 1889. And this really has been on the market since 1889. And it is now owned by Brown-Forman, same people that own Jack Daniels. And they aged this, if you read the link below, it's aged in charred oak barrels. I wonder whose barrels those are. All right, so Corbell is not really popular in Louisiana. There's one, two, maybe 3 stores I know where to find it. Apparently, it's really popular in Wisconsin, but I'm not from there. I don't know. Ahaha, yum, says Oliver. KS is Brandy. You're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. All right. Turn on an old classic rock station. You probably hear that every day. I liked it the first 5,000 times I heard that song. Okay, BC's Beer Reviews says, good evening, Ron. Good evening to you, BC. Oh, BC's Beer Reviews. Oh, BC's Beer Reviews. Regardless of if it's a bottle or a can or even draft, he'll probably be reviewing the beer just about now. Okay, so the Corbell. Still got a lot of it left, but like I did pay $14.99 at Dormax, and that was a good deal. Rubber stopper. Apparently these are better than corks, though. People tell me no, neoprene is better than cork because it doesn't dry rot as fast and it doesn't, whatever. Okay, there's a whole essay on the back. I'm not going to read that. You can read it if you buy a bottle. They're telling you a lot about it. Corbell was started by an immigrant to California who escaped Germany, the German Confederation. He was actually in Bohemia, the Kingdom of Bohemia, inside the German Confederation. He was arrested for being a revolutionary, left-wing revolutionary. He went to California. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, perfect place. Maybe he started then and I've been so. That's probably always like that. All right, so this is 1889 brandy. And this was $17.99 for the handle, this huge glass bottle. This is a VS brandy. Look at this huge bottle. $17.99 at Total Wine and More. And it is produced for Heaven Hill. It's owned by Heaven Hill. I'll put the link below showing you that they control. I don't know if they make it, but they have it made for them or something. And it doesn't say California brandy. It just says brandy. So it could be from various states blended together. Now, they're both caramel color, copper. And you know what? The 1889 is darker, but you know what? You can add caramel color to brandy. You can add natural flavors to brandy. And you don't have to tell people that you did it. I know that. It says it on the Tax and Trade Bureau website. There's a whole chart for every type of liquor, and it says harmless color and flavoring added. It gives it. It's a easy to read chart. It'll say like American whiskey, just whiskey. Yes. Coloring can be added. Flavoring, yes. Disclosure required, no. Then it'll say bourbon, coloring added, X, not allowed. Can you add flavoring? X, not allowed. So there is no disclosure option because it's not allowed. And then it goes down to rum or brandy. I looked at both, rum or brandy. Natural flavors added, allowed. Coloring added, allowed. Disclosure required, no, X. Or check under no. And same thing for brandy. So why do they have where they allow it for some and don't allow for others? I really couldn't tell you. Except it's all bosh anyway. It's all foolishness anyway, because if you go to liquor stores, you'll find bourbon with natural flavors. It'll say bourbon with natural flavors and caramel color. Now you say, well, you just said you can't have flavored bourbon. Right, you cannot have flavored bourbon. But you can have bourbon with flavoring. Okay, you said it was insanity. Hey, I've got 2 bottles. I mean, I can prove it. You know, I got them in the cabinet. But see, that's now if it says straight bourbon, you don't have to worry about it. Any straight bourbon anywhere in the United States, if it says straight bourbon whiskey, cannot have coloring under any circumstances. And if it says bottle and bond, it cannot have coloring or flavoring added under any circumstances. But we're not talking about whiskey now. We finished with whiskey. We on to brandy, but it is allowed. Okay. David Cassidy said that song makes me envision a smoke-filled, longshoreman-filled bar. Yeah, me too. No idea why. Well, the song is kind of like, I just found out recently that Dalmore adds caramel coloring. That's Scotch, right? KS, would a Applejack be considered a brandy? Yes, it's apple brandy. I know the founding fathers were aficionados. Yeah, Applejack is apple brandy. It's brandy made from apples, whereas most brandy is made from white grapes. Most of these brandies and cognacs, they're made from white grapes. But you could make it from other things. Yeah, that's correct. And Applejack is very popular in some parts of the country. I can get it in Louisiana, and it's from Laird's, almost always from Laird's. They make all different type of Applejack of all different strengths and ages. Commerce Ozzy, good evening all. Let's go Lions. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, I got to get this thing going. We got a game coming up. We got some big games coming up. Monday Night Football and the World Series. Okay, will I be able to tell these apart? I guess so. Oh, thanks. You're welcome. Oh, why did I say that 1889 might go back to 1889? Well, I was doing some research. This 1889 Royal Brandy only goes back, like something like 20 years. But there was another brand before it, and it was called like old 1889 brandy. And it was, I could be having them slightly wrong, but that trademark was from 1915. I'm pretty sure it's called Old 1889 VS Brandy, or just Brandy, 1915. And I'll start looking up that on like Google image search, and it showed an advertisement from 1915. And it said Old California 1889. No, it said Old image search, and it showed an advertisement from 1915. And it said Old California 1889. No, it said Old California Brandy since 1889. So I bet you it was an old brand that didn't have much of a following, but it was still around, and who knows made it. And then Heaven Hill saw it and was like, oh, we can buy that for cheap. And they did buy it for cheap, and that's why it's cheap. Okay, so I think it's one of those that kind of just lingered around for the last 134 years. But unlike Corbell, which is like the big one of the biggies, well, maybe not in the top 3, but the top 3 are E&J VS, Christian Brothers VS, and Paul Masson. not in any particular order. And then maybe they're coming in at number 4, you know. What's your favorite non-alcoholic beer? None of them. Okay. I'm not trying to be smart mouth. I hate them. Hey Jay, eating an egg omelet, drinking the Taylor wine. That sounds like a good idea. Jean Pierre, thanks for watching. Okay, so this just smells like grape skins. Like literally, it smells like grape skins. I don't know how else to describe it. A little wood, maybe, something like that. Haven't had a brandy in years. I wonder if it's possible to get the 100 milliliter bottles like the whiskeys. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh-huh. Depending on what store you go to. Total Wine for sure. Walmart tried selling those mini bottles, but I think people were stealing them. You say Walmart shoppers? Well, it's stupid because they had them in a cake, had them just on the open on the rack. You know, other stores got them behind a glass case, you know, and you got to ask for it and they'll pull it for you. I mean, don't just put it out there. And plus, they never had it organized. It was always getting knocked over and slung everywhere. So I think Walmart does now have those 100 milliliter bottles in a case. Okay. In fact, I know you can get Hennessy in a 50 milliliter, but you wouldn't like the price. Yeah, you can definitely get Hennessy in a 50 milliliter. This one smells like yeah, a lot of wood also. Wood barrel, oak, caramel, something. I don't know. They both are very woody. So you could tell they were both aged in oak. Now the VS, that 1889 VS, that's the lowest grade of brandy. That means aged 2 to 4 years. And definitely not above 4. So between 2 and 4 years. And for the price I paid, you know, it's probably more like 2. I don't complain about that. I only paid $17.99 for the big handle, and if it's only aged 2 years in oak, that's fine with me. It's pretty aromatic, whichever one this is. All right, taste. Cheers. It's hard to describe brandy. It doesn't taste like grape juice. It doesn't taste like wine. It tastes a little bit like sherry wine now. If you ever had sherry, like cream sherry specifically, okay, it kind of tastes like that, but way stronger. Sherry being 18%. This is 40% alcohol. Wayne says, I heard that caramel coloring is made by heating a sugar compound, usually high dextrose corn syrup, often together with ammonium compounds, acids, or alkali. Oh, well, I don't know about all that, but maybe so. Bitter, salty, and a little sour from that chemical. Well, I'm not tasting anything like that. So both brandy and schnapps can be made out of any type of fruit. That's my understanding. I would wonder what the differentiates brandy from schnapps. I don't think schnapps is aged. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's clear. It's just like a base. And then they add flavor into it for whatever purpose. I think schnapps is similar to a vodka. But, you know, it's got all the flavorings. No, I mean, yeah, caramel, a little caramel, a lot of grape skin, a lot of maybe like sugar, like you get from a date. A date got no dates in it. I can taste the difference in Foster's Premium, which has the caramel coloring added, and I can taste it. Well, premium ale, if you could taste it, hey, you can taste it. It's supposed to be odorless and flavorless, though. This has a little sugar, maybe some vanilla. Yeah, a lot of vanilla and caramel or nougat like you get in the Three Musketeers bar. This has got to be, that's got to be the 1889 Royal Brandy because I think they jacked it up with vanilla. Said natural flavoring. Well, vanilla would be natural. Why would they want to add vanilla to it? Well, I guess on its own merits, it might be a little rough. So they figure tweak it with some vanilla and then people won't fuss about it. And I was reading reviews online. I must have read 50 reviews for this product. It was 10 to 1, 10 favorable to everyone unfavorable. Okay. They were saying, oh, we like it. We buy it. My husband likes it. We buy it. All our friends like it. They come over to play cards or watch television or whatever, game night or whatever. Oh, they like it. They like it. And then you read one. Oh, it's terrible. Tastes like a spoonful of sugar or some vanilla. It's gross, But so I don't know what to say. I was on the positive side. Maybe not as much adulation as some of the people, but I kind of like I remember hearing about schnapps from an episode of Hogan's Heroes. Oh yeah, Hogan's Heroes. We used to watch those reruns. Used to come on around this time in the evening, around 6 o'clock on the independent channel. But if they use ammonia to process it, and then if some people can taste that, then that must be that slightly off flavor in the Foster's. But I still drink it and I like it as well. Well, it could be. You're right. Have you ever had? It could be those Pride of Ringwood hops. Though. Also, think about that. They're pretty bitter. It's a 30 IBU. Have you ever had an XO grade brandy? Oh yeah, I got some in the cabinet. I got some in the cabinet. Yeah, it's a lot better. The XO. It ought to be better. It's aged 6 to 10 years. Sorry, Ron, I really did. Oh no, I believe you. Okay, so that's got to be the. Let's stay with the main topic. This has got to be the Corbell because I'm tasting a lot of oak, and they say it's aged in charred oak, which is probably ex Jack Daniels barrels because I already told you the people that own Jack Daniels own Corbell, so why not just use the barrels that you own, right? What do you think about Manischewitz wine, regular and blackberry? Now, I just said let's stick to the topic. They're okay, even good if you're rating them according to what they are, which is dessert wine, young, fortified, or sugar sweetened dessert wines. Yeah, they're fine. I don't drink them. I don't want all that sugar, but yeah, I don't take issue with it. It's a style. Some people will downgrade it because it's a style. I don't like that style. Well, then don't drink it. It doesn't mean it's bad because you don't like it. Getting ready for game 3. Yep, me too. Okay, so Manischewitz, Mogen David, they're fine, if you like that style. I'm not into that style, tell you the truth, but I don't downgrade something because it's true to style. I said I didn't like non-alcoholic beers. I'm not going to sit there and tear them apart because I don't like the style. If that's what you like, then you should drink it or not drink it. It's up to you. What have you done vodka taste challenge? I've never done a vodka taste challenge, no, but I did a mix up this morning, Jean-Pierre. I'll post it later. I did a Vodovska with the grape soda. Sorry, you might have mentioned, but what grade is the Corbell? It's a funny thing. They don't have a grade on it. It just says California Brandy. They're not required to put a grade. That's just something they do. Okay, you can just call it brandy. You're not required to put XO, VSOP, VS. I've even bought brandy that said VVSOP, very, very smooth old pale, which is not even an official grade. But there's no legal, that's not a legal thing. All right. That's what we call a convention. That's something that brandy companies have chosen to do, and they all agree on the general guidelines, but it's not a law. And in England, they don't use that system. They use stars. 3-star is VS Brandy. And I think 4-star is VSOP, and then the 5-star is the doggone XO. I think I don't really deal with English brandy because I don't live in England and we don't get their stuff here. You know, we get stuff and it's geared toward us. Okay. Blackberry is good, actually made from blackberry. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got blackberry flavoring in it, but yeah, but that's still natural blackberry flavoring, so it does come from blackberries. Yeah, yeah. All right, so yeah, let's get this closed out here. Do I like both of these? I do. I do like them. The 1889 Royal Brandy, like I said, might have started in California, but I guess it could just be brandy from anywhere now. It tastes pretty good. It's nothing great. It's like a B, you know. But for $17.99 a handle, yeah, I could compromise. But the Corbell's got a lot more development to it. This is just the base Corbell. Okay, they got Corbells that's like $350 a bottle, not $14.99 for a liter. I'm just dealing with the base. I mean, you could pay an enormous amount of money for Corbell brandy. If you live in California, they don't really sell that stuff anywhere else. Just like Paul Masson brandy, you can get really specialty ones in California. They in a bottle that's shaped like a heart. It's like real fancy, but we don't get that around here. Okay. Hey, that's got to be the Corbell. Okay. It is the Corbell. Got it. 1 win, 0 losses. All right. 1-0. Thanks. I like how the XO is also referred to as Napoleon. Yeah. Napoleon brandy. That's right. I occasionally get a hankering for a taste of Manischewitz blackberry wine. Hanker for a hunk of cheese. Oh, I wouldn't say I really crave Manischewitz, but what do I know for that kind of wine? Even if I did, wouldn't even matter because the other thing. No, but you know, but all kidding aside, I mean, I like it all right. If somebody told me, here's a bottle of Manischewitz, I gave it as a gift. It could be cherry. There's even an elderberry. Now, that's the one I'd like to try, the elderberry. We don't get that. I mean, I would drink it. I wouldn't complain. We are on a winning streak. We are that old commercial character. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. The 1889 didn't really compete, but on the other hand, it's all right. But you got to have a sweet tooth. You say I got to have something that's dry, no sweetness. Well, don't buy 1889 because you're going to hate it. All right, but if you like something that's vanilla flavored and it's 40% alcohol and that means something to you, yeah, buy it. What the heck? Cotton Eye Joe says, cheers to you. All right, so tomorrow for Tuesday, I plan to come back with another American brandy. Do all the American ones first, you see, and then we'll do Spain, and then we'll do France. I think that's all the countries I have. How many brandies do you have in the rotation? Oh, yeah, a good amount. You're going to see it's good. It's a pretty good amount, more than it's even more than I think. But yeah. All right. Bye-bye, y'all. Take care now.